Hello and welcome to the book. We're so happy that you decided to join us tonight. We also have a phenomenal guest. I'm super excited to introduce you to her. And I want to tell you a little bit about her before we actually bring her on. Sandrian Nelson-Moon is a humble example of perseverance and faith. A native of Jamaica, Sandrian is a wife and mom and entrepreneur and county committee member by day, and by night. So without further ado, let's go, Sandrian.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hi.
I'm good.
Good.
How
You're
are you?
looking fabulous.
Well, I try.
I'm wonderful. Are you in Jamaica?
You say that again, honey?
I say, are you in Jamaica today?
Oh no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Awesome.
I am sitting in the dining
looking
room.
like you're on. Okay.
I'm dressed festive. Yes.
All right. So
I'm on vacation.
right. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, you guys get the first peek at it. There it is.
Awesome.
I actually release it tomorrow. The book is kind of based around two children who, spend a lot of time together, have a lot of adventures together. Brother and sister duo. They are very much protective of each other. The relationship is amazing. But it was just another day, for them. And Nathan tends to find himself in just a situation waiting on his sister. You know how girls can be. They take a long time to get ready. And he's sitting there and comes across something amazing on the staircase at home and finds himself rolling and falling from the sky to no avail. Screaming, he's 6, he's scared and frightened, and his sister just comes to his rescue, not necessarily questioning or trying to figure out what's going on, because she doesn't know either. She just jumps because she hears her brother scream. And they both find themselves on this really amazing adventure with these really amazing dragons, symbols that some would think are kind of scary, but they're pretty fun and unique. It's a pretty cool story. The kids have a lot of fun in the story and realize they're in a whole different magical place. It's nothing like where they live, and the timelines are completely different. So it's a pretty cool book. It's pretty fun.
Awesome. First, as an author, everybody thinks that you can pretty much give fingers and you're author overnight. Tell us a little bit about writing the book.
Honestly, kind of making up stories like this started years ago when my son was like a year and a half, 2, because he wouldn't go to sleep. So we would make up all these really cool things. He would pick, any kind of weird thing he would throw into the story. Boys tend to do that. But, we just started making stories up. And at some point I said, okay, maybe we can actually make a really cool story that means something that, other kids would love as well. So writing wasn't so bad, to be honest with you. I think that was more or less the fun part, because you get to kind of create things, put things together and think, okay, wait, maybe I can throw this in here. This would be a cool idea, kind of thing. So it wasn't that bad to write it. I think the more rewarding part too was watching it come to life. That was the amazing thing. Watching your words put on paper, the ideas of what you see put into, these wonderful illustrations that are in here. That was a thing that was really great. My kids didn't even know the book used their names until I started illustrating. And at that point, they were just crazy. Oh my God, really? Especially my son, since he had a lot to do with a lot of the creating of the crazy stories. So it was interesting writing. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
It was really fun. It was actually fun.
Now, what age group do you say your book for?
Well, I've said it's from like 6 to like 12. It's a good size book, 6 more or less for parents who can, actually read it as a bedtime story for their kids. It is said to more or less have their imagination opening up a lot more, spreading out. Kids up to 10 years old can read it. It's a pretty good book. It's set a good age group all the way up.
Oh, nice. Now, of course, you're saying when people actually go and purchase the book, when will it be available for the public?
It will be available tomorrow at 10:30. 10:30 when I press the button. It will be up tomorrow. I'm actually doing, and I'm actually doing a live on my Facebook. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways, some Amazon gift cards, grand prize giveaway, a couple things for parents to grab onto, kind of as a Christmas gift for the kids. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Wonderful situation. Tell us where they can go to actually tune in for your Facebook. What's your social media links?
Okay, so Nelson-Moon Kids is the Instagram link. We have Nelson-Moon Kids Books on Facebook. Well, you can also go to, my Facebook it has me now as Sandrian Campbell, and in bracket, it has Mrs. Nelson-Moon. On Instagram, my personal Instagram is Drea, DRIA _ Drea JD _ Esquire 36. So that's where you can find me personally. But the book, you can go on to Nelson-Moon Kids at Instagram, and you'll find a lot of little things about it. We also have a website, www.nelsonmoonkids.com. So the book will be at Amazon, Walmart eBooks. It's going to be Barnes and Noble also, everywhere you could find books. It's on Kobo as well. Amazon has a Kindle edition also for it. It's going to be it's going to be everywhere, actually. It's all over the place.
Awesome. Phenomenal. Now, before we wrap up, of course, we have watching the show. Thinking they don't know what to do, where to begin. What advice would you provide for them who are struggling to, get their books published, or struggling just to start writing?
My advice for people coming into this, understand something. I learned this the hard way. There's a whole lot of pieces to writing. Most of us think we go and we write something, put it down on paper. Oh, I'm an author. I did it. But after you write the manuscript, make sure you also get someone who's not your family members, somebody you can ask who is going to give you honest opinion about what the script is, before you kind of finalize. Once you do, know that there's a lot of resources on Facebook. You can find children's author groups those are very helpful for me. They educate you on a lot of the pieces that needs to be used to put together for you as as an author that wants to self-publish. Understand marketing can get really, really crazy. Understand you're going to need a budget for marketing. Things will cost you to do everything. Market everything is going to cost you some money. But it is possible to do this. There's ways to find, sometimes you can just research and dig. You can find some illustrators that are not as expensive that can, depending on what kind of art you want. It's all kinds of little things that can, differ between how much you really spend on something, and, you can find something reasonable that will work for you. It depends too on the size of your book. It's a lot of different things, but it is very possible. My advice is to do it if you want to do it. Don't let anybody tell you can't do it. I thought I wasn't going to be able to till I surprised myself. Once you go digging for the information, it's there. And I would just tell you, keep writing. And even at the moments where you feel like you can't write, stop, sit back, take a break, breathe, and go back to it. The thoughts, it will come. Whatever those words are, as writers, we say we have writer's block, but it will come back. It will come. It just takes something at times to trigger that writing. But I'm sure everybody who writes knows that much. But the children's book world is a lot to swallow too. It's just like anything else. There's a lot of other books out here. There's a lot of things, but don't be scared by that either. Create your own thing. And if your thing has its own beat, it will grab its own attention. Don't let that stop you from doing it. Those are my words. If anyone who wants to do this. And if you want some help, reach out.
No, of
I'll
course.
pass on some info. I'll pass on some info. I'm fine with that.
Right.
There's enough to go for everybody.
What's next?
I'm one of those people that believes in. Yeah, there's a lot to go around.
Right. You got a point about it, because everybody that said that they can help you with the manuscript necessarily can. You just have to find the right people for your budget. So next for you in terms of writing another book, or you're going to focus more so on marketing this one?
Wait, say that again, Maya.
I said, what's next for you? Are you going to plan on writing another book, or focus on writing this one?
Well, two things. What's next is I'm looking to start a book tour on the 25th of January. Getting that situated now. I also already finished book number 2. I've been asked, am I going to do, part 2 to this? They find this place. Do they go back to it? I haven't decided yet, as far as that goes. I, however, had another idea for something a little different, but something more motivating for kids. As minorities and as women, we know it is hard to get ourselves in certain fields. There's not many of us in certain fields. And as a person who's, on the track to law school, it is one of those fields that I've seen so many of us turn away from, not understanding how important it is. So I want to kind of highlight to children, these are things and fields that are important. These are things that, it's okay to get into. It's okay to want to do. There's a lot of science and technology and, space and, all these amazing careers that are open to them. So I'm thinking of something there. I kind of finished a draft already for that. But I'm also releasing my autobiography memoir, June. That one is more of a serious book for adults, pertaining to, certain things that happen in our culture, especially when it comes to trauma, sexual abuse, stuff like that. Part of my own story and kind of how I got out of a lot of it. And I'm trying to grab individuals, male, females, whatever age group, before they kind of speedball into a place of depression and, a feeling like they can't come out of these situations. So that book is more intense for me, but I think that, the story behind it and what it's going to do for people is much more important. So I am looking forward to that. Definitely. So that's where I'm going right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to checking out some of your books and things like that. On iHeartRadio, that's going to be coming up, dropping soon. We share some advertisement about that conversation. Will be an opportunity to tap into our market all across the country and as well for the book. So I'm looking forward to the conversation as we continue on and to the relationship. But we appreciate you coming on tonight.
I thank you. This was cool. This is pretty cool. And I'll see you again. I'll see you soon.
Totally see me again.
Yeah.
Are you having
a good holiday?
Awesome. So I'm excited. Of course, I'm looking forward to that she's done. I want you to head over, check out her website at nelsonkids.com for more information. Make sure you have her Facebook page. You can get an opportunity to win things, gift cards, possibly some books But just check out our website, check out our social media on Instagram as well as Facebook to find out more information about the phenomenal opportunity that she's offering with her. But without further ado, I want to ask you, because we have a guest that's coming up. We'll be right back with more of the Bright Virtual Christmas Tour.